My name is Jeff. I drive a 95 S14.5. I went with the S15 front just because I knew this question was going to happen, and it's because I got into an accident. I rear-ended somebody, hit a pole, and finding metal fenders for S chassis is just a fight. It's whoever has them, and they want way too much for them. So I decided, let's change it up. Let's do a front end conversion. Let's make a 14.5. The color of the car is Nissan 920, better known as Safari Gold. The reason I went with Safari Gold is kind of pay homage. It was an old color that they used in the 70s on GTRs. Even though this isn't a GTR, it just pays homage to the old school Nissan scene, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. Nissan Datsun Motorsports, Nismo, just all the old school, like, genuine Nissan stuff. That's what I wanted to pay a little homage to. So I've been building the car for about 8 months, 22 days, 8 hours, and some seconds. It's been a long ride. I got into an accident, so the car's been sitting for a little bit. I've been rebuilding it all winter right here in the garage with my best friends, my help from my parents, great people I've met in the community. But it's been about 8 months. Coming up to summertime, and I want to get this thing out and ready. My favorite mod so far, you guys actually can't see in this video, or in this angle, but it's actually the clear gas cap. My buddy Travis Rake out in Indiana, he builds them for the Scion community all the time, and since I came from the Scion community to the Nissan side, it was something I always wanted to do. It's popular on like a lot of older Toyota sports lids is what they were called, and Travis makes them custom for XBs, so I sent him out my extra gas store and I was like, hey man, could you make? He said, yeah, probably, why not? So he used the parts, painted it, got it looking straight, and it's absolutely just the one of one thing that's only on my car, and that's just what I love most. It brings out really the more unique side of everything. Where do I draw my inspiration from? It's kind of a tough one because I really don't have one single person that I draw my inspiration from. It's more or less, the community itself. I follow Stance Nation, I follow Fat Lace, I follow, all the lowered car pages, all the top manufacturers, the local scene, the West Coast, the East Coast. I follow a lot of the just general builds, so there's no one source of inspiration from this. I just kind of draw it from all over the community, whether it's here in the US or overseas in Japan, what all the crazy builds they're doing over there. And that's kind of where I draw my inspiration from. Deal with the love and hate from the internet. That's another really good one. You can't listen to what the internet says. The internet is always going to be divided. Someone's going to love it, someone's going to hate it. You just kind of got to draw the line, decide I'm building it for myself. If the internet loves it, great. Internet hates it, great. This isn't really an internet build. I'm not building this to break the internet with crazy omnicam or camber, or I'm not trying to be the hottest, I'm not trying to be the hot boy of the internet. I'm just kind of building it for myself. I want a fun, reliable street car that if I want to learn how to get sideways and drift the thing, I can, or if I just want to tear up the local roads and just terrorize my neighborhood, that's what I want to do. So with the love-hate thing, you just kind of got to roll with the punches, and just remember, it's not their car. It don't matter what they say. So just stick true to what you like and your own style. That's all you can really do about it. And troll them with gifts. My advice for a young car enthusiast, or all the young car enthusiasts, kind of two things. One, don't be that guy. And then two, ask questions. If you don't know something, ask about it. You want to learn something, ask about it. You want to know what this specific part is, ask about it. If you're at a car show, you see somebody with the same chassis you're building, and you want to know what front bumper that is, walk up there and be like, hey man, I'm building the same chassis, what front bumper is that? Never limit yourself to, I don't know how to do that. YouTube's out there, man. There's a million videos on how to do anything from, how you torque your lug nuts down to how to swap an engine. So, as long as you got your phone in your pocket and access to the internet, there's no excuse for not learning. So always learn something. Be open to learning. Take the advice. Don't just push it off and be like, nah, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not gonna do that. Learn. Keep learning. My earliest car memory? I just remember my dad always had a subscription to Whitney, the old magazine where you could order just like random parts from body kits to NOS tanks to, just all these crazy, early 2000s car catalogs. And I just remember flipping through them all the time, being like, look, you can buy this for this much money, not knowing what it was or how much money that actually was. It's just something I always remember, like probably 2005, right around the time my dad got the Scion. I was just like, look at all this crazy shit you could buy, and him just being like, yeah, okay, knowing damn well that I didn't know a damn thing, that he didn't know what it was, and we just kind of, flipped through the magazines just saying, man, look at this, and like, that's just something that always stuck with me. What are my thoughts on the local car scene? Chicago has such a weird mix that the car scene, I'd say it's healthy. I know a lot of people would straight up disagree and tell me, nah, the Chicago car scene's whack, or, this, that, and this, but it's all about who you associate yourself with for the car scene in Chicago. If you go to the low-key meets where, it's 10, 20 cars, local builds that are just meeting up to hang out, versus going to Lower Wacker, they have two different experiences. One's just like the ruthless, no F's given Chicago car scene where it's like, a little grimy. I'm personally embarrassed, but that's how most people think of our car scene, versus this airplane flying over my head. So I'm just gonna sit here and stare at you guys. Versus, the local meets hosted by local clubs and whatnot. I think those are the best ones. Where it's less than 100 cars, less than 100 people. Just pull up, hang out for a couple hours, head on home. I think those are the best ones. That's where you really get to connect with each other, where you make, some of the best of friends. And I'd take that over Lower Wacker in the city any night. I'm not one to go there, and it's not my thing. So I think Chicago car scene's pretty decent if you know where to be. Favorite local build? There's so many crazy builds going on in Chicago right now. I know I completely missed Week Fest. There's a lot of cool shit there I wanted to see. But favorite local builds are probably going to be my friends. Over the past 8 months that I've been building this, I've had, my best friend get new wheels for his GTR, start building the suspension for that. I got my other best friend putting a 60mm wide body around his RS. It's just, seeing the progress of our own growth through the car scene and through our own cars. I think those are going to be my favorite builds, just because I know about all the passion and all the hard work and, how many extra shifts we've all had to pick up to afford to do some of this stuff. Those are my favorite builds, definitely. Any special thanks I want to give out? There's a bunch. First and foremost, my parents. I've been hiding this thing in the garage for the past 8 months, so I'm sure they're anxious for me to get it out so they can, utilize their own garage again. To my friends, missing work, being late to work, all just helping you finish this thing up, man. I owe you guys big time. Can't even express it. My local Ace Hardware. If you guys have watched any of the other videos, seeing me carry a full-on hood into the hardware store just to find out the thread pitch. Ace Hardware's probably been where I've spent every other hour of any project I've done. Yeah, I need this bolt. I need 3 of these bolts. I need, the thread pitch off this. I need that. I gotta retap this hole. So their knowledge has been great as well. So shout out to them. And then I'm trying to think of anybody else. If I missed anybody, thank you. Other than that, I think friends, family, my local hardware stores. The people. Oh, Juan, thank you, man, for coming through and painting this thing. I know a 2-day paint job's hard to pull off. I know we're still kind of working on all the little bits, but it came out great, man. For 2 days in my garage, we killed it. You killed it. Can't thank you guys enough. that's it, guys. Thanks to everyone. Alright guys, so that was our first car review video we wanted to test out. I was kind of the guinea pig on that. If you guys want to see more of these and have, you know, people you want us to check out for their builds, drop their names, Instagrams, Facebooks, all that stuff below in the comments. Angel and I are going to do our best to try to make a couple more of these. You know, probably starting with our builds, moving on to, you know, other guys in the community. If these really kind of blow up and you guys like them, we'll keep doing them. Anything yet?
I mean, I think the purpose of this is to showcase Chicago and the type of cars I don't feel like we represent the car scene enough.
No, not at all.
Like, you never hear people from other places talk about cars from Chicago. I think the whole purpose of this style of interview is to really get that out there, and we'll even call it Cars of Chicago.
Yeah. You guys normally always see the car or the Instagram, but you never really know, like, the driver, the builder, the person who spent the time on it. So I'm hoping this is just a good way to shed a little light to all the guys out there grinding in the garage after they work every day. So you guys like it, let us know. And anything else, we'll just catch you on the next one.